you're seeing a pull away, and primarily people, I would say, anywhere ranging from 40 to 50 and under, and then drastically, especially under 30, because these are the people that are getting hit the hardest, and they're saying, we're never going to get to be able to buy a house. And it's not just interest rates are the reasons.
Señores, el escándalo de Jeffrey Epstein no solo está alejando a los votantes MAGA de Donald Trump, sino que también está fracturando a sus voceros más fieles, a los aliados ciegamente conspiranoicos. No solo en los medios, ahora también en el Congreso. La última en levantar la voz es Marjorie Taylor Greene, furiosa en contra de Trump, no solo por el tema de Epstein, sino que por todas las traiciones, las mentiras y los fracasos acumulados. Antes de que lleguemos a ese momento, y veamos por qué es que Marjorie está tan molesta, parte del contexto lo ha dejado claro Jessica Tarlov. Escuchemos.
But I will say, Harry Enten, he said that, and it included Loathe, I believe. But he also said, was Trump wearing a Banana Republic suit on Friday? Because firing the BLS head because you don't like the jobs number is the worst of Donald Trump. It's the conspiracy theory-laden part of Trump a la the 2020 election. And I would argue that Trump's most lasting impact or his biggest influence has been on Americans' ability to actually know what is true and what is honest. And that starts with the big lie of 2020 with nearly 6 in 10 Republicans.
I thought you were going to say the big lie of 2016.
No,
the
it's a nice try. I know you guys are trying to rehab this. It's not going to work.
You're rehabbing something from 4 years ago.
Nearly 60% of Republicans think that Joe Biden wasn't legitimately elected to be president, and then Donald Trump is actually in the midst of what would be his third term. When you get a Bureau of Labor report, which was all well and good 2 months ago when you did like the number, and then you fire that person, that's authoritarian stuff, and that tells people that you can't trust the numbers. You can't trust anyone who works in government. He threatens news outlets for coverage he doesn't like. Look what CBS just has to do. The assaults on academic.
Y es que no debería de sorprendernos que Trump haya mentido cuando prometió que haría la vida más asequible. No es de sorprendernos que mentiría sobre los empleos que traería de vuelta, sobre las inversiones que haría en la industria, porque por supuesto nada de eso pasó y tampoco va a pasar. Señores, solo falta recordar su primera administración. Literalmente se la pasó duplicando su patrimonio, robando miles de millones de dólares del gobierno para los amigos billonarios, empeorando la vida del estadounidense promedio, luego de prometer exactamente todo lo contrario. Uno de los engaños más recientes y más graves fue el que llevó a Marjorie Taylor Greene, digamos que a romper con él. Todo comenzó con lo que dijo en esta entrevista en Fox.
And I said, explain IVF very quickly. And within about 2 minutes, I understood it. I said, no, we're totally in favor of IVF. I came out with a statement within an hour, a really powerful statement with some experts, really powerful. And we went totally in favor. The Republican Party, the whole party, Alabama legislature, a day later overturned, meaning approved it, overturned, the judge essentially approved it. And we really are the party for IVF. We want fertilization, and it's all the way. And the Democrats tried to attack us on it.
Y pues bueno, en base a eso fue cuando Marjorie Taylor Greene estalló. Una ruptura en vivo con el movimiento MAGA. No sé si el Partido Republicano me está dejando atrás, o si simplemente ya no me identifico con el Partido Republicano. Y la verdad, ya no me importa. Así es, señores, palabras directas de Marjorie Taylor Greene. Pero veamos el trasfondo. Este quiebre entre Marjorie y Donald Trump ya no es un simple desacuerdo ideológico. Hablamos de una ruptura pública con el movimiento MAGA. Esta congresista estalló contra Trump por las recientes decisiones sobre la guerra en Ucrania, sobre los aranceles a la India, sobre la política migratoria, y todo esto criticando la postura. Pero su frustración va mucho más allá, porque en una entrevista Greene declaró no saber si es ella quien se está alejando del Partido Republicano, o si el partido la ha dejado atrás. Y afirmó que ya no le importa. Además, ha lanzado una advertencia directa a Trump sobre el caso Epstein, que si no cumple con la transparencia prometida, va a perder el respaldo de su base. El mensaje es claro. Los votantes ya no se conforman con promesas vacías. Quieren resultados.
You're seeing a pull away, and primarily people, I would say, anywhere ranging from 40 to 50 and under, and then drastically, especially under 30, because these are the people that are getting hit the hardest, and they're saying, we're never going to get to be able to buy a house. And it's not just interest rates are the reasons, it's the cost of housing and the availability. I mean, when you've got companies like Blackstone buying up all the houses and turning them into rental homes, and no one in Washington, D.C. is willing to do anything about it, well, you have 20 and 30-year-olds who are frankly pissed off, and rightfully so. And I'm their mom. And Eric, when it comes to my kids, there's nobody I'll fight harder for. And I hate the term mama bear because I don't really think of myself that way. I was never one of those helicopter moms. But I am fighting in Washington, D.C. to affect the policies and the direction of the Republican Party, because I want it to serve my kids' generation. And I think that's the right thing that we should be doing.
Pues bueno, detrás de este quiebre republicano hay luchas reales e importantes, especialmente las que Jasmine Crockett y los demócratas en Texas han estado enfrentando ahora mismo, que es el gerrymandering, este Gary brutal que ha estado imponiendo Greg Abbott, con el respaldo, como no, de Donald Trump. Y sobre eso, la propia Jasmine Crockett lo explica en este clip.
Democrat of Texas was in the state legislature 4 years ago when she and other Democratic members left the state to try to prevent new Republican voting restrictions. She joins me now. It's how we got to know you, really. You were Texas state legislator Jasmine Crockett. This is wild. They're not sugarcoating this at all. They're telling you what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Oh, I mean, they are trying to sugarcoat it a little bit. You just played a clip of Representative Hunter, and I was there when he was giving those remarks. And when asked by another colleague whether or not they were doing this at the prompting of the Department of Justice, at the prompting of Donald Trump, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. And they were like, but you do realize that Donald Trump said he wanted 5 seats, and this map gives him 5 seats. He's like, I haven't heard that. So I'm just like, what are we doing, right? Like, I mean, seriously, how is it that you haven't heard that? And this is just your magic number that you came up with. Yeah.
Coincidentally, the same as Donald Trump's magic number. Talk to me about people across this country, Democrats in particular, who are having a personal and emotional struggle with the idea that they feel like political partisan gerrymandering, obviously racial gerrymandering is supposed to be against the law, but political partisan gerrymandering is a bad thing, and a lot of these states have moved to bipartisan commissions because redistricting does have to happen, populations change. How do you feel about the struggle that some Democrats are having with this right now?
Listen, I think that the struggle is good because it means that you still have a moral compass. Unfortunately, in the government that we are enduring at this moment, there is no morality. There is nothing but lawlessness, and there is nothing but power grabs at the expense of so many innocent people. And if we are going to preserve our democracy in this moment, this is the way that we have to engage in this fight. Now, once we get control back, listen, Democrats, I need y'all to listen to me clearly when I say that once we get control back, we have to be just as aggressive, if not more aggressive than the Republicans, to do right by the people. It is time for us to rebuild the trust with the American people. Unfortunately, they did not trust us, and that's exactly why we got here. It's not because Donald Trump is so great. It's not because he put up such great numbers. Unfortunately, so many Democrats stayed at home because they just did not believe that we would fight for them. But this is why I'm so proud of my former colleagues from the State House, because Texas Democrats, well, we do everything bigger in Texas, including fight as Democrats.
So let's talk about what happens here. And I think this might be why some people across the country are struggling with this. This is not a Texas problem. If Texas creates 5 more House of Representative seats, that's an America thing. Right? That could be the distinction. That could be the difference between Republicans keeping hold of Congress in the midterm elections or not.
No, it absolutely could be. I mean, think about it this way. Right now, the Democrats should control the House, but we don't. And the only reason we don't control the House isn't because we didn't work hard, isn't because we didn't raise money, isn't because we didn't put up good candidates, but it is because North Carolina, as soon as they ended up with a Republican majority on that Supreme Court, decided to redraw the lines again. And instead of that state being 7-7, which sounds like how that state has historically been voting, instead now the congressional delegation is 10 Republicans and 4 Democrats. They took 3 seats away from us, and those 3 seats would have made the difference in having a Speaker Johnson and a Speaker Jeffries. And, well, one of those is bigger, better, and greater than the other, and I'm sure you know which one that is.
Let's talk about what the options are here. California is looking at an option that says, let's put this to a vote and let the voters say that they've got a right to do mid-decade redistricting. New York is ready to trigger a bill that says if somebody else does it, we can fight back. Illinois, of course, being particularly helpful to those Texas Democrats, who, by the way, Senator John Cornyn has asked the FBI to get involved and find, arrest, or bring back the Texas legislators.
Yeah, this is interesting. Clearly, my senator. Now, listen, I'm about to tell all of MSNBC a secret. I actually don't hate Senator Cornyn at all. And right now, what we have is a senator who actually is a real Republican who's doing everything that he can to make it seem like he's a MAGA Republican so that he can get through his primary. But Senator Cornyn, this is not him. This is somebody that sat on our Supreme Court in the state of Texas. This is somebody who typically works in a very bipartisan way, unlike Senator Cruz. This is somebody who is literally doing everything that he can to hopefully get some of that MAGA base that is riled up to vote for our corrupt attorney general, because now I'm convinced the only way that you can succeed with MAGA is you got to cheat on your wife, you got to have some felonies hanging over your head, you got to do something that makes you a little saucy before they will get behind you. And that's exactly who A.G. Paxton is. And unfortunately, he is consistently leading in the primary polls on the Republican side. And so Senator Cornyn knows that the FBI can't get involved and ain't going to get involved as it relates to some little civil situation that was signed off on by the Speaker of the Texas House. But the MAGA base won't know that.
Are you concerned that Paxton might get away with this business of trying to expel Texas legislators?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I know the Texas Constitution. So the only way that he gets away with that is if our Supreme Court decides that they want to throw away our Constitution. And frankly, the only thing that we've seen these courts really stand by just a little bit has been the Constitution.
Esta batalla por el rediseño de distritos no es algo menor, señores. Es el primer paso para que los demócratas puedan ver cómo ejercer el poder, para que dejen de tener miedo a ejercerlo. Los republicanos usan el poder para aferrarse a él. Supresión de votantes, manipulación electoral. Y cuando los demócratas ganan, ¿qué hacen? Se paralizan. Y eso es algo que ya tiene que cambiar en este momento. Porque si ganan poder, tienen que usarlo con contundencia. No solo para salir a hablar de democracia como una idea bonita, sino para que la gente sienta que el gobierno sí sirve para algo. Y para eso, para poder lograr eso, van a tener que romper una que otra norma. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarme hasta el final de este video. Recuerda, como siempre, dale like, comparte el contenido y suscríbete a nuestro canal. Nos vemos en el próximo video.